They will not give you. They say it specifically. Love the hoes. We love you guys, but they won't marry you. They won't give you that picket fence. And the ones that do, come on, you're only with them for the money.
Everyone deserves love, and everyone makes mistakes. And I feel like, well, if you
everyone deserves love,
most people, most
everybody.
People, if you're not like a horrible person, not going around like killing people or like.
What about
really
Kim Jong-un?
I don't know.
The North Korean dictator?
No.
Whoa.
Well, I'm in the industry, and I've been in the industry for a few years now, and a lot of the successful porn stars are married, they have kids, and like it doesn't.
You can be successful at one. Porn or having a marriage and family. You can't have both.
Okay. Yes, you can. I know people who
you can't have both successfully.
How are you going to say you're a Virgin Mary over here? Like, I know.
You don't think there's a reputation?
You don't know what it's like to be married and have children.
No, but I know what it's like to be in the industry, like, and not have a problem.
And do you think a lot of people listen to those people from that industry as far as like where to get marriage advice from?
They absolutely shouldn't.
No, family advice from how to raise kids?
Well, they're not watching us for that reason.
Okay. If you think that's the normal, let's get our advice.
It's not normal, but it's like we're not having a hard time.
It's not, okay, this is not to shame. This is not really to shame. It's more like accepting accountability and your role and the outcomes of what you will possibly get because you did certain things. I don't know why that is so hard to.
Well, maybe some guys like wouldn't want to date a woman who's in the military. You could say that about
anything.
Yeah,
I know that. There's a lot of guys I don't date because they haven't been to the military
exactly,
because
and that's how
they're
I
like
feel.
Pussies. But I'm like, when it comes to a woman and a man, what a man values when he walks outside the door has nothing to do with, oh my God, I don't know what the fuck women think about when they step outside the house. But I know when it comes to a man, it has to do with respect and people look up to them. And if they can, if they are someone they can take direction from and learn from, no one's going to look at a man who doesn't have a wife that he cannot control, a wife who just fucking sleeps around. It just doesn't happen. Unless you are in an industry where that happens and that's considered normal, but that is not the normal. You can't bring your industry into the outside world and think that everyone's going to live like that and be okay with that. It's just asinine to think that way. It really is.
I think what really pisses people off is that you're expecting society to change and become more enlightened to accept your lifestyle and modern values, but no one has to adapt to your lifestyle.
No, I'm not trying to change anyone. If I'm going to date someone, I'm not going to change myself or change them. They're going to accept me and I'm going to accept them, and that's going to be it. And it's like, I don't get why that's so hard to understand.
Not who you date, but like when we brought up, if you had kids who got bullied because of the imaginary porn on the internet, like you're expecting society to change its views on sex work when like.
Well, I mean, I don't think bullying is
that doesn't
right,
really take
like,
accountability for
it's
your
more
actions.
Like trying to change society to like not
it's
bully.
It's not bullying though. It's just accepting that you're going to live with certain consequences, whether or not you like how other people perceive you. That's just going to be it. I have to be perceived the way that I am, and I just have to live with that.
I think you're making a lot of
Kojak said if I say hi to him, he'll donate $100. Hi, Kojak. Okay. I remember you from my lives.
That is a legally binding contract, by the way.
You're making a lot of should and shouldn't statements about society, but you don't want society to make should and shouldn't statements about your actions. That's hypocritical.
I feel like I wouldn't have made it this long in the industry if I cared what people think. So like.
But you just said you think that society shouldn't.
You're right. In your industry, you're right.
Frown upon sex work to the point where if you had kids, they'd be bullied because of your history. You do think that society should change.
Do you want kids, by the way?
I don't know. If I met someone like really amazing, sure, and if they wanted them, but.
The whole like kids bullying thing, like kids are gonna get bullied inevitably. Like you could say, like kids are gonna get bullied because of your genetics. Like that.
But is doing porn the same thing?
No,
as,
but like if we're thinking about like
or
protecting our kids from getting bullied, like if I have like a weird nose and I have a kid, then it might have a weird nose. Like
that's not a choice though. Doing porn is a choice.
No, I see what you mean.
The difference there is, I mean, kids are fucking brutal, especially like 13-year-old boys.
And they're
gonna be
like, this is the thing. These anti-bullying campaigns need to stop.